Hello, I'm Davey Havok.
And I'm Jade from AFI.
And we are here with you on Pure Volume, answering some of the questions that you sent in to help us celebrate the release of our new record, Burials, which I'm not sure if there's any that have to do with burials in this stack, but we will see.
That's okay, you're gonna get to know us a little better.
Here we go.
So sorry for that. This question comes from Tina Miller. I like to see that people are still named Tina. I kind of figured that died out in the 80s, but I appreciate that.
And that would be a product of the 70s, right? I mean,
Or yeah, I guess the 70s.
I mean,
70s or 80s.
I mean, so they were naming their children Tina in the 60s, I guess, right?
It is amazing to see a band be together for so long after so much success. How do you all still have an amazing connection with each other after all these years, and how do you maintain your friendships with, and then it just ends? So I'm not sure.
With
who?
With who? Shall we go with the rest of the bandmates?
Yeah, that probably makes sense.
Okay. And us. Oh, that was for me.
Yeah.
And us. Tina, we've spent so many years together that we're very close and we're very much like a family. So we know each other very well, and having that type of connection not only allows us to really, really enjoy experiences in a way that a lot of other people don't get to enjoy in their other relationships because of that tightness, but it also allows us to be aware of when we need to leave the other people alone. It's very much like what people describe marriage to be like, as far as I understand it, in some cases, but I think our marriage has outlasted most marriages in modern times. We all are very passionate about what we do, and
less sex in our marriage.
A lot less sex, unfortunately, which we need to, I'll talk about that later. Tyler Starr has a question. As a band whose sound changes from one album to the next, what was the biggest change between Crash, Love, and Burials in terms of the writing process and the sound you wanted to put out? Us.
Well, us. We didn't really set out to create a specific sound with this record. We just set out to write some songs, which we kind of always do. But the writing process was completely different. I mean, although we wrote the last one down here too, but this one was coming from a different place emotionally and creatively. We wrote it, where you were coming from, where I was coming from. It was so different that it conspired to create a whole different piece of art that Burials ended up being.
And technically, the way we created, I think, was really, really helped with the detailing of each song. We were writing and demoing in a way where Jade and I were reviewing what we were creating on the spot and being able to deconstruct it and really focus on different moments and different parts and immediately review it to see if it has had an impact on us that was, as I said, immediate. And it allowed us to have those reactions, put the music aside if need be, and review it and reconstruct it if need be, in a way that we'd never done before. I think a lot of people work like that more recently than we have, but we'd never done it before, and it was really, really good experience for us technically as well.
This comes from Blair Lipscomb. Are any of you guys ticklish?
Didn't we have a Lipscomb in high school that we went? Hanscom.
Yeah.
Different appendages. Is a lip an appendage?
I don't know. I'm not particularly ticklish.
I think I am.
You are?
Yeah. My grandfather used to.
Let's find out.
Nope.
Okay.
No Blair.
And as for Hunter and Adam,
definitely.
I have no idea. They're probably tickling each other somewhere right now.
Probably tickled as we speak. Dennis Beyond Dennis asks, before you were able to do music full-time, what kind of jobs, or job, Jade, did you guys do to help support / sustain yourselves in the early days?
Well, I had various jobs, as most kids do. I was a stock boy I was telling the story last night to someone. I was a stock boy at a grocery store, and I was a teen, and all the other stock boys were these teens, like these young teens, and there was a creepy dude that was in charge of us who was constantly trying to get us to go to his house to watch porn.
No way.
And we didn't think anything about it, other than like, that's probably not a good idea, but not really thinking what his motivations might be. And only later do I now realize what his motivations were. So I'm glad,
And you, now that I think about it, when you bring up that story, you also had a history working with Jeff, who was the second bass player of AFI.
Yes, we worked at a newspaper together in the mailroom. I worked at college bookstores. I went to college. We went to college together briefly. We had a class together.
We did right before I dropped out. And then right before you joined AFI, you were working at the college bookstore, right? What was it called?
The Mendocino College Bookstore.
No. Weren't you working at the one?
Oh, Ned's?
Did you work at
Berkeley?
Ned's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Jade worked at Ned's.
What about you?
Well, because I'd been doing the AFI since I was 15, I was lucky to avoid most work. I catered.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it was great. I catered for a while when actually Jeff Kresge, the member that I just mentioned, and I and Mark and Adam lived in a room together, just one room that was about the size of this room, which you can't see, so it doesn't make a difference. But I did some catering. I worked in a pear shed, packing pears and then sorting pears.
I worked in the pear shed.
Oh, none of
briefly.
the same years. No. So I did that, but we started touring so early in my life, in my teen years, that I was able to forego income and eating for playing shows and parties and squats and garages, and that was actually preferable to.
We should go get a job at the pear shed again.
I don't think you can.
Pears doesn't exist.
I think pears are done. Pears are out.
All right.
Pears are over.
This comes from Chris Pfeiffer. Throughout the years, there's no question that your music has evolved. Lyrics, instrumentally, your band has become more experienced and perfected. My question, what is your opinion on bands that have gone through the same changes, and what would you say to fans that may not like the way AFI is today?
Well, to take the first question, obviously empathizing with those bands and relating to those bands on a very basic level, I would say that both of us can appreciate what they're doing as far as growing and evolving musically, whether or not the particular band we like in the first place or in the second place. For me, there's a lot of bands where they grow into something I like more, and then there's bands that grow into something that I like less, or there's bands that I like the whole way or none of the way. But certainly I can relate to an artist who feels a need to move forward and to change, to have that fulfillment that we experience in the way that we grow. And as far as people who don't like the growth, is that what the question was?
Might not like the way AFI is today.
Yeah, that's cool. That's fine.
Yeah, there's like a dichotomy between being a fan of a band and being in a band. Like, I feel the same way about some bands. I like the way they were years ago, the way they started out, and I like some bands I like the way they are now. But when you're in a band, you're motivated by different things, and so a lot of that motivation is growth musically, personal growth, being into different things. So I can sympathize with both sides of it.
Yeah. Oh, onward.
Whoa, it came back.
Wow.
I threw it out and it came back.
Maybe we didn't answer it properly.
I guess not.